Magistus is here, and it is top tier in my hands. We pot a peeing to have them try to eat the ash. The ash was not eaten this day, so that's okay. We're going to be digging for a play. No call by the grave, so that's fine. I'm going to grab the Trick Clown. We're going to get max seed. Well, with this deck, I take the max seed challenge because we ain't wussies. Holy crap, Psy-Frame Gear Gamma. We're still going to play through it. We're going to play through max seed, through Psy-Frame Gear Gamma. Let's go right through it all. We don't care. Now, what was the Endymon even trying to do? All it's trying to do is equip the Magistus Link from the extra deck. Because I already activated the hard once return, I'm going to use the quick effect to perform the same play that I was going to do if I were to not be negated. Now, when she's in the spell and trap zone, you can activate to search your deck for a Magistus. We're going to search for the one that special summons. There's only one of them that special summons, and it is the Crowley. Crowley needs to discard a spellcaster or send one on the field to the grave to special summon. The Perform Mage Trick Clown, when sent to the graveyard, summons itself back on the field. Let's go. Crowley get discard in. We are special summoning. That will trigger the Trick Clown to summon itself back onto the field. Great. Now, if you're a mad lad, you can turn Crowley through its own effect into a water. Water plus water equals Bahamut Shark into the totally awesome, now banned in the OCG. We're not going to do that, though. We're going to exceed with two different attributes of spellcasters to make Riliona. Riliona is going to special summon from the deck Zorora, Mini Zorora. Mini Zorora is going to be able to equip a monster from the extra deck, which then gives it the ability to summon a monster from the grave. Then it is a tuner, so we're going to make a synchro. We're going to equip the Exceed. I'll let you know what that does. We're special summoning the monster. It does get negated, does not matter. And here's the boss monster. This is a very simple deck. There's no real combo with this deck. It's just summon Zorora. That's it. So if you could rank 4 Exceed, then you could special summon Zorora. The goal with this deck is to summon the Zorora onto the field while you have a monster in the graveyard because it special summons a monster from the grave. From Mini Zorora into Big Zorora. Now, the Big Zorora is all about being the main boss monster, locking your opponent out of using their extra deck monsters. Per extra deck monster we have in the back row, your opponent cannot activate that card type. So right now, it cannot activate Link monsters. And on summon, it's going to equip another monster from the extra deck. And the monsters in the graveyard, the Crowley and the other one that we don't have in the graveyard, is going to equip more onto the Zorora. Get equipping. Equip, equip, equip. Now, with this current field, the opponent cannot activate Synchro, cannot activate Exceed, cannot activate Link, has a giant freaking hand, is a top-tier virtual world deck. Let's see if he knows how to read. Probably not. Now, in addition to not being able to activate Link, Exceed, or Synchro, we also have additional effects. Our Zorora cannot be destroyed by spell and trap card effects per the Valram effect. And this Exceed gives us the ability to pop back row and give us a double attack. That's 5,000 attack. Great. I'm not even sweating. He didn't draw on summon because he cannot activate. And the Artemis gives you a follow-up. Every turn, you're going to be able to search for Magistus. Shen Shen. All right, great. I don't know what you're thinking is going to happen, mate. Did not read. Oh, look, you got to read this, read this, read that, read this, read this, read my graveyard just in case. Oh, here's Waldo. Did not read my back row monster, which destroyed his giant croc. Learn to read, mate. Now he's going to use the trap to resummon a monster on the field. He's got to make more plays. He's not done. He's only just begun. He's going to synchro into Vermilion Dragon Mech. He's going to keck weight. Right now he's thinking, why is my Vermilion Dragon Mech not activatable? I can't activate it. That's right. You can't, mate. What now? Okay, fine. We're going to make True King of all calamities. This monster wins me all my duels. It's perfectly fine. Oh, wait. Why is my True King not activatable? What the hell is this? I'm out. And that's Magistus. Just summon Mini Zorora while you have a Magistus in the graveyard, and then you make your Big Zorora, and you win.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
We are playing against top-tier Tri-Brigade with the Magistus. Magistus is all about locking your opponent out of using extra deck monsters, and what's great about this deck is your opponent's not going to read your cards. You're going to have too many cards on the field to read. paragraphs upon paragraphs. It's going to be amazing. We're going to play through all this. We don't even care. This deck, generally, we want to go first, but here we are going second against top tier, non-targeting banish plus triple monster negates. Let's go, mate. Oh, great. Drawing Max C for turn. It's the best card to draw into because now it's no good. We're going to Triss Magistus, which after reading it, he's like, oh, no, no, no. I'm going to banish that. Max C is pretty good against the Revolt. It's draw 2. But the Apollo USA will negate. The Triss Magistus, if you were to read it, you would know that it could summon my entire hand. It could summon one spellcaster or as many Magistus with different names from my hand as possible. So very quickly, he will be banishing that. It is a good idea to stop this play. But he does not know. We opened up 3. We're going to Triss Magistus, come forth and summon, Rillanoa and Zorora. Rillanoa is going to search the deck for a Magistus spell or trap. It's going to get negated. That's fine. Now, the deck is all about Zorora, but getting into the big Zorora. You go mini Zorora into big Zorora. Going to summon. That is perfectly fine. We're now big enough to wipe out the Apollo USA. Now it's time to make the plays. Now we're popping off. We're going to get Artemis on the field, so we get Zorora, summon the Rillanoa back onto the field. The Zorora could summon from the hand or graveyard. And with the Zorora, you could also make a Krishan Halk into Celine, into the Access Code Talker if you wanted to do that. We're not doing that. By equipping the Artemis from the extra deck, you could search your deck for a Magistus. We have not even used up our normal summon. Normal summoning the Crowley into the Anaconda. But wait, there's more. We're going to show Khan into the boss monster, Zorora. Zorora is going to make it so Link monsters, Synchro monsters, Exceed monsters, everything is illegal. You're not going to be able to activate Exceed. You can't activate Link. And we're going to have a DPE on the field. How can he break this field? Link and Exceed is now legal. So we popped a Link monster that wants to activate to search the deck, but it cannot activate due to having a Link monster in the back row. So even Link monsters in the graveyard cannot activate. We have prevented the activation of the Sheree Goman. DPE, come back. What are you going to summon, a Link monster that can't activate? Come on, mate. I'm not going to even DPE it. What are you doing? Sheree Goman on summon, banish a card. Keck, wait, didn't activate. All right. I'm going to swing into DPE for some reason. Sheree Goman, again, does not activate. Link and Exceed are illegal. Let's do our turn 1. This is when I was playing the Dogmatica Ecclesia. To make the deck more fun, possibly less effective, I took out the Dogmatica Ecclesia for testing purposes. We're going to get Ash Blossomed on searching with Artemis. The Endymion equips the Artemis, then allows us to search. The Endymion can destroy one of our back row cards to draw a card, then put a card back in the deck. Crowley's the card we would have searched for, but we already had in our hand because we were top tier. You discard a spellcaster to summon the Crowley. Then you make Rillanoa. Now remember the goal. The goal is to summon mini Zorora if we have a monster in the graveyard, which we are going to detach a monster. We already have a monster in the graveyard. You summon Zorora and you win. That's it. It's the floodgate. Detach, summoning, Zorora. Zorora is going to equip an Exceed or anything you want. You could equip a Link, Exceed, or a Synchro because in the end, it's going to re-equip onto your main Synchro. So it's going to summon a monster from the graveyard. It will be negated, and that's it. That's the combo. It's not even a combo. Come on. Zorora is going to equip a monster from the extra deck. The Crowley and the Rillanoa in the graveyard are going to equip even more. So right now, the opponent cannot activate Synchro, cannot activate Link, cannot activate Exceed, cannot. We have double attack. We can't be destroyed by battle. At the start of the damage step, we'll destroy a monster. That's what I mean by not undestroyable by battle. And we'll be searching for a monster next turn. And we're going to throw an Ecclesia on top of it. She's a spellcaster, so there is some synergy there. Grabbing the Knighted. Absolutely unstoppable. What can you do? Fusion? We got fusions in this deck too. Harpy Feather. Okay, we have no outs of the Harpy Feather Dust, so that's fine. Wiping out the back row. Gia, is this the right replay? What is this? You gave me the... ignore this. He can now do everything. He's great. Okay, negate. I do not think so, Numeron mate. You will not be searching your field spell. Tribute. Yeah, come on. Learn to read. Left arm offering, banishing the entire hand, limiter removal, gaunt, lava golem. Wow. If he didn't summon his Pathfinder. And he's got the Numeron network. I think we're okay. Yeah. This is, you can get to 8,000, swing over. Now, Zorora has another effect. You're about to find out. That additional secret effect. By the way, my Ecclesia can't be destroyed by battle by a monster from the extra deck. Learn to read. Come on, you Numeron Glue Eater. 8,000 attack, wiping out the Zorora, but that's okay. Zorora's coming back. And he's also going to get rid of our entire field with the Numeron Chaos Gate. Great. Bunish the entire field. We have an open field. Can we perform lethal with this rogue tier deck? Yes, we can. Spell Power Mastery searches for the Endymion, our main combo starter. This card summons from the hand a monster. This card summons a monster from the grave. Zorora, pop the back row. Zorora could pop any Magistus card to resummon itself from the graveyard, and now it's back. This will be our monster reborn. Come forth. The mini Zorora's main goal is if there's a monster in the graveyard, then we are going to be summoning it and then be able to exceed or synchro. We're going to pop that fusion just to draw and return for no freaking reason. I didn't even know what the hell that was. Now, Borreload Savage Dragon has insane synergy with the deck. By equipping the Artemis, you now have Zorora locking your opponent out of being able to activate Link monsters. It does not have to be equipped onto Zorora. It just has to be face up in your back row. And the Artemis being face up in your back row can search for a Magistus. Borreload is nuts. Grab the Rilliona. Rilliona will search for a Magistus spell or trap, and that is a GG, no re. Oh my, we got no play, but we got the pot of P. I'm just getting rid of all the non-Magistus cards. Yeah, that's right, I'm playing Summoner Monk. Back in my day, this card was limited to 1. It was so freaking good. I can't believe it's legal. It's nuts. Summoner Monk is going to discard a spell, special summon a level 4 monster. It's not negated, no restriction. I can't believe it. Rilliona is going to search for, holy moly, the Magistus Invocation. That's a fusion spell that could use your hand, your field, and your back row for the fusion summon. Rilliona is going to detach and summon our main monster, the Zorora. You want to summon Zorora if you have a monster in the graveyard. That is the goal. We're going to equip the Magistus Artemis so we could search our deck for another, and we could use it with the fusion summon. We're going to fusion Shokan using the back row and the monster in the hand. We're going to summon this nutty fusion. Holy moly. This has the quick effect to equip onto an opponent's monster and then take control of it. And while taking control of it, and you have a Zorora on the field, your opponent cannot activate fusion monsters. It is nuts. Quick effect, yoink. We are going to Shokan into Zorora, the Magistus. So we have the ability to steal a monster, prevent them from activating fusion. They can't activate synchro. They are destroyed at the start of the damage step. They cannot activate link monsters. They're done. They're absolutely done. And we're even equipping another one. Okay, can't activate Exceed, can't activate Link, can't activate Synchro, can't activate Fusion, and I could steal your monster. What the hell? Absolutely unstoppable. It's the wrong replay. Okay, we got the Clown, we got the Zorora. I'm gonna Rilliona. Oh, shite, we got negated. That's fine. What's really good about the Magistus Theurgy, I forget, this last time I'm saying that, it's the quick play. It equips the Artemis from the extra deck, which is a search. Good searching. So while this search was negated, that's fine. We ate the ash. You eat the ash on purpose. We grab a Crowley. Crowley discard the Perform Mage Clown. The Clown resummons itself back in the field. It's great. Now, why didn't I summon the Zorora? We don't have a monster in the graveyard for the Zorora. We're going to summon it through the Exceed. Very good. We're going to detach the Crowley. Make sure to detach the Crowley. You want the Crowley in the graveyard. And that's a scoop. That's the mad lad. He already knows. He already knows what is happening. We got Spell Power Mastery to eat the ash. The ash was not eaten. That's okay. We don't even need the monk. We got the Endymion Magistus. Why did I not use the monk? Because the monk has to discard the spell, and I want to use this spell. We got Crowley discard the Perform Mage Trick Clown. Trick Clown's going to summon itself back in the field. All you have to do with this deck is make a rank 4 Exceed, and then you're going to be locking your opponent out of their extra deck. That's it. Everything else is extra. Pop our back row, draw a card, return a card back in the deck. We could change our attribute into freaking water to make Bahamut Shark. Holy moly. Crowley turned into water. We got Unload the Toad. Totally awesome. Negate and steal any card my opponent activates. We're going to resummon our monster from the graveyard. As long as our spellcasters have different attributes, we could summon the Rilliona Exceed. Really on Exceed Summon, you know it, the Zorora. Zorora activates. Going to equip anything from the extra deck. We're going to summon a monster from the graveyard, make our ultimate synchro, Zorora, the Magistus Calamity. We're going to equip a synchro, and from the graveyard, we would have done even more. We would have equipped the Exceed or the Link. Now he's locked out of synchro, Link, possibly Exceed, get negated by the Totally Awesome. He's out, and that is the deck. It's very simple. Lock them out of the extra deck and have fun. My Magistus deck. Now, I'm going to be giving you the explanation after me telling you that you should have Crystron Hulk in this deck. I didn't initially have it, but I do recommend you to play it, so when you see the rest of the explanation, you might not see it here. The Zorora is a one-card Crystron Hulk if you have another Magistus in your hand or in the graveyard, and what you could do with that is you Zorora into a Magistus, into Hulk, into Summon Veiler, into make your Celine Navidad. If you have 3 spells on the field and or graveyard, including your opponent's graveyard, you're going to gain 3 spell counters, which will summon the effect Veiler back on the field, which will then make an access code talker. So with the Crystron Hulk, it gives you a 1-card access code talker play. You definitely should be playing it. Let's go. And this is my Magistus deck. This is not fully super optimized. The sad thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now is your deck becomes better when you put in Crystron Hulk, you put in Auroradon, you put in DPE, you put in some other well-established engine like Invoked or Dogmatica. I wanted to be as pure Magistus as I could. So instead of putting in all of that nonsense to make the deck probably better, but, you know, lose its shine, lose how special the deck is, I'm playing Summoner Monk instead. Summoner Monk, summon a monster from the deck. The deck very easily pops off with just a 1-card Endymion plus a spellcaster anywhere else in your hand, because what you're going to do is you're going to 1-card combo Endymion, you're going to equip the Artemis. Artemis will search for the Crowley. The Crowley will discard a spellcaster from the hand to special summon. You're going to then make the Rilliona. Rilliona is going to detach material to summon the Zorora, and that's the main goal of the deck. Summon Zorora while you have a Magistus in the graveyard, because then the Zorora is going to summon it onto the field. Then you're going to make your boss monster, the other Zorora, Big Zorora, which will lock your opponent out of the extra deck. They cannot activate their card effects. Lock them out of Link, lock them out of Synchro, lock them out of Fusion, lock them out of Exceed. And also, while locking them out of using those cards very easily by making this, you have double attack and destroy back row with this Exceed being in your back row. You are going to destroy any monster at the start of the damage step with the Valram, and also locking them out of the Synchro. The Borreload Savage Dragon is great synergy with the deck as it can equip a Magistus in the back row. If you have an extra monster on the field and you're about to summon the Zorora, what you should do is make an Artemis, summon the Zorora, then the Artemis will equip onto the Zorora, locking them out of Link monster effect activations. Then the Zorora can equip a Synchro, and then from the graveyard you could equip an Exceed. So it's all about just summon the Zorora, lock them out of the extra deck, and that's the deck. It's a lot of fun. It's not super top tier competitive. You kind of get blown out by cards like Harpy Feather Duster. Maybe you want to put in cards to counter that. If I throw a Harpy Feather Duster in this deck, I could use Crossout Designate to negate it. That would work out great. Thank you very much. Let's go. Fools.